professor, physician, epidemiologist. I am Dr. Sri Banerjee. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, core faculty for the College of Health Sciences and Public Policy at Walden University with a joint faculty appointment at Ross University School of Medicine. And in this video, I want to be talking about some of the basic concepts in clinical trials, which is typically employed within a study is double blinding or is blinding in general. So before thinking about, like I said, single, double, or triple blinding, let's go back and actually go over what blinding is. And blinding, a concept of blinding is that to remove bias. That's the idea. But blinding can include clinical trials, researchers. It can include subjects, technicians, and data analysts. So when we're thinking about single and double and triple blinding, single blinding is typically going into either typically the patients are blinded from which group got treatment versus which group got placebo. Then when you go into double blinding, it's both the subjects and the researchers who are having issues. And then triple blinding is patients, researchers, and data analysts. So when you have randomized double-blind placebo-controlled trials, there's random placements of participants into two groups, an experimental group and an investigational group, a control group that acquires a placebo. So not all studies are like this. Many students, when they're first learning about clinical studies and clinical trials, they think that this is the only way that you can study the effect of a treatment or intervention or whatnot. But in actuality, what it is that there's a lot more types of observational studies that can provide insight, but without having to do an expensive clinical trial. Because let's face it, clinical trials are pretty expensive. So we have to also visit the concept of bias, and bias refers to deviation from the truth in the collection, analysis, interpretation, or publication of data leading to false conclusions. So poor blinding of a clinical research study may lead to bias, and so that may result in inflated effect size and increase the risk of type 1 error or erroneously rejecting the null. Even a small error in blinding may lead to a statistically significant result without any real difference between the groups. So again, unblinding may occur during the portion of the blinded clinical trial, which is interesting because that can happen before the conclusion of a trial or the source of bias. So it is the responsibility of all the healthcare professionals involved in a clinical trial to maintain blinding. So you can go into some of these questions on your own, but StatPearls has a list of good information and also good questions that they create. So be thinking about understanding blinding within the context of clinical trials. Thank you for listening.